What's up, everybody? We have 10-ish minutes here with Mr. Ryan Muckenhirn. This one's a bit of a surprise for Ryan. We haven't told him what cartridge we're going to be talking about, but this was a listener request, a bit of a listener special. Mark, who do we have here, and
Jim,
what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, you don't even know what we're going to talk about.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Ryan, so I was talking to Ryan downstairs about a different cartridge that we were going to talk about. In fact, we just talked about it. So we're doing back-to-back. They probably won't appear back-to-back, but I will be wearing the same shirt, though. This one comes from Santi.
Okay.
This person says, 10-minute talk about the 7x64.
I knew it was going to be the 764 Brenneke. Or is it the Sharpenhart?
He just says, most underrated round in America, hyper popular in Europe. I would love to hear their thoughts on the mighty, versatile 7x64 exclamation point.
Just the 764.
I thought in my head, I wonder if it's going to be the 764.
I wish you would have said that.
How does that happen in your head?
I don't know.
So
I was
many
thinking of
cartridges.
all the cartridges that it could be that anybody would say it was either a Lazzaroni cartridge, a goofy Wildcat that I don't know anything about, like a Dakota.
I wasn't going to do that to you.
Or it was going to be a 764.
Okay.
So,
Do you
Enlighten us.
savant?
look, first of all, it is a remarkably popular cartridge in Europe. I have stated on this podcast before that European cartridges are not something I'm super smart at because there's a lot of them. Some of them I've never even heard of, seen, touched, or felt. 764 is one I have heard of. I have seen it. I have touched it. I felt it. I've never loaded it. I've never fired it.
Okay.
Ballistically speaking, it is interchangeable with that of the 7mm Remington Magnum. The game you would hunt and chase with a 7 Rem Mag, the 764 does the trick.
Okay. But you're talking about American versus European. This is kind of like
It's in
Mustang
Twixt.
versus BMW M3, right?
Mhm.
Like what's the European twist on it?
It's popularity
Well-
and introduction.
Oh, it's like the Speedo of cartridges? Like, what are you talking about here?
Well, I don't understand the question now. I'm remarkably confused.
Well, you're just
Well, you said
basically
it's
saying all
popular
it
in-
is just a 7mm Remington
Well,
Magnum.
that's
and-
what it's close to. That's like the
Oh,
parallel and similar thing that we
Okay.
talk about here in the U.S.
all right.
I can't tell you its introduction date. I'm going to guess with 1957.
Somebody can fact check us. Mark's
Mark's
on
right.
Wikipedia.
I'm trying. Oh. Well, designer, Mr. Brenneke.
Yep.
They're saying designed 1917.
It is that old.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Now that's design, so I don't know if that's maybe, but that's what they're going with here.
Maybe it's one of those things where the designer made it, then died, and then they released his album after he died, like Tupac.
Yeah.
How about like the shape of it versus a 7mm Rem Mag?
Well, do you want the rimmed version of it or the non-rimmed version of it?
Tell us more. There's two.
Well, you can have a rim version of it, and then you can load it in your double rifle or your single shot.
What would be the most common?
Yeah.
I would say in bolt guns is going to be the rimless version of it.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rimless version of it is not unlike the 7 Rem Mag in shape and size. Caliber's the same. I'm drawing blanks here, fellas. It's very, very, very similar to a 7 Rem Mag.
How does that happen? Is it just literally just because they're on the other side of the world, and so they don't have the same? Were
we working on the same problem and came to essentially the same solution?
Yeah.
Just in a little bit different way.
Yep.
Okay.
And they were basically making it just for a sporting cartridge, right? There's no military background to it or something along those lines.
Hopped up version of so similar cartridges in that time frame and caliber. The most probably associated would be the 7x57 Mauser.
Okay.
So like our 308.
Yeah.
Within that category, I'm also going to lump the 8mm Mauser, which is like our 308 or 30-06. All of these fall into the same realm.
Mm-hmm.
We then had cartridges like the 300 H&H, which we've talked about before, 300 Holland, like a high velocity, big game, long range cartridge at the time. And the 300 H&H saw huge fame and notoriety throughout the world. In Africa, in the U.S., that cartridge was used to win a bunch of shooting matches called Wimbledon for a while. Great cartridge. Anyway, so we need this intermediate kind of between that .308, 30-06 class, 7 Mauser, 8 Mauser class, and 300 H&H enter the 7x64. So you have a higher velocity, high BC projectile. We're taking the advantages found in the 7 Mauser. We're putting it in this larger case that's going to be able to propel it faster. And now we're getting velocities like the 280, like the 7 Rem Mag in a cartridge about the same size.
Nice. Now,
not too far off.
Conceptually, do you like this one?
Yeah, it's a good cartridge.
His
Well,
voice got very high pitched there.
I'm
Yeah,
asking
no, it's
because
good. It's good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm asking because
You don't like the
you're
sevens.
not exactly a big fan of the 7mm Rem Mag.
Well, I mean, it's a fine cartridge, Jim, but I don't like the 7 Rem Mag for some of the reasons that people like the 7 Rem Mag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And those reasons are, it is not a Hammer of Thor. It is not some wildly powerful cartridge. It is marginally more powerful than a 30-06, a 280.
It's certainly no 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
Just thought I'd kick the
It is
the hornet's nest
it is
there.
a fine cartridge. All right. So if we look at 280, 7 Rem Mag, 764, we're pretty darn close to all the same cartridge from a ballistic standpoint and an application and use standpoint. It's a good cartridge. Yeah, it's a good cartridge.
Yeah, no.
that's it. See, because all right,
Let's go. I want to. So, like,
right,
we
we
talk about a lot
pontificate.
of these cartridges, and sometimes we find out. You're like, oh, the 6.8. Oh, that's actually the same as a 2. Like, so the 7x64.
Yep.
The 7 denotes 7mm
Yes.
of the bore diameter.
Yes.
And the 64 is
Millimeters of case length.
case length. Yeah.
okay, got it.
And backing up, this is actually the closer parallel is probably the 280, standard 280. If we're really getting down to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could have a European rifle chambered in this cartridge, what would it be?
Oh, I'd say a Blaser R8.
Pretty guns.
They are.
What about and then you mentioned there's this whole rimmed version, and that's what people are throwing in the old double barrel, or the double rifle, or the single shot.
Yep.
Now, was that just the earlier version? Then later on they modernized it and took out the rim, or
I think I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
If they were done in tandem, and this wasn't uncommon, so we have cartridges like 375 H&H and 375 flanged. They're like the same, only one's got a rim, one's got a belt and a rim. One was made for repeaters, one is made exclusively for rifles like a double rifle or a stocking single shot.
you have to be accommodating to those people? Because that's a really big thing over in Europe, right? The double rifle or the single shot, stuff like that, right? It's the like you said, the stocking gun.
Yep. So you also have like 757, just standard 757, and then you have 757R, 7x57 rimmed. Here again, we're going to see an application in a single shot or a double rifle or drilling, for that matter. It's a 3-barreled gun, or funfling, which is a 4-barreled gun. Yeah, for folks watching or not watching, they are looking at me like, boy, that was. I just feel like I didn't bring enough to the table.
You did fine.
Okay.
Ryan. This was literally, we surprised you.
Yeah.
Although
Surprise.
it sounds like apparently you can read our minds and you already knew what we were going to ask you about.
It was in the forefront.
It was up there.
Brenneke.
Yeah.
Same as the slug guy?
Yep.
Same guy.
Really?
Those are good slugs.
I have a box of Brennekes that I bought as I was planning on going to a slug-only area for a late-season blacktail hunt, and I never went. So they're probably like more than 20 years old. New in box Brenneke slugs, not for sale.
Are they the clear holes?
It was for a smoothbore shotgun. That's all I had at the time.
Are they the clear holes?
I don't know, Ryan. I haven't opened it.
Are they the clear?
Yes,
Okay. Red or blue?
clear.
Take a picture when you get home. Cool cartridge. 764.
All right, if you had it in your Blaser R8 and you're going to go hunt Europe,
Also, if I
where
said,
would you hunt and what would
hold
you
on,
hunt for?
if I said, I might have said this person's name wrong. Santi, repeated. Santi. So
I think it's all right.
I don't mean to offend. Anyway,
I think they'll get it.
There's a cartridge I'm going to go home and study tonight.
Where would you hunt in Europe?
Oh, if I was
And
going
what
to
would
hunt,
you
I would
hunt
like to
with?
hunt in Hungary. I would like to hunt fallow deer.
That'd be cool.
Yep. I think
Hungary.
yeah,
It's got to be next to Turkey.
nearish.
Get it? I can't actually. Wow. Geography was wasted on me.
Yeah.
Can't picture where it was. That would be pretty cool, though.
That is a goal of mine. In fact, and hopefully, if the world rights itself again in the short future, I find myself in Hungary hunting fallow deer.
Oh, this would be fantastic.
Yeah. That's a big thing.
Do you think that someday when we make a 7mm bitch cat, it will catch on in Europe?
Generally, no.
The name probably wouldn't do well.
I was going to say
over
the
there.
name isn't classy
I think
enough.
it's more the cartridge type. One thing I've always been fascinated with European cartridges is the modesty that most of them are.
Do they kind of like to just get the job done and no more?
Yes, but then you jump up to like big bore stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some thumpers on the European continent. Now most of these are used for hunting like brown bears in Croatia or Africa or New Zealand, or not New Zealand. I suppose you could hunt Asiatic water buffalo there in Australia, places like this.
Okay.
But the modesty in cartridges on the European continent I really like it. It's like when I was talking to Richard Mabbitt, who's the proof master of London. I said, what are the most popular cartridges you see coming into the UK for civilian ownership for hunting? And he said 243, 308, 8 Mauser, 6.5 Creedmoor is getting real popular. Sometimes not 6. 7 Mauser. All modest stuff.
Yeah.
Because it does the job.
Finesse.
Yes. And another thing some of my European friends have mentioned to me, they didn't understand why Americans have such big rifles. And at first I thought like physical dimensions, at first I thought caliber. He corrected me. He said, no, physical dimensions. He said, why do you hunt with a 26-inch barreled gun? And
it is quite long.
And my statement was, well, we're trying to get some ballistic advantage out of this. With the longer barrel, we can get better muzzle velocities. And then he came back with, that doesn't make sense. I stalk deer often. Sometimes we'll have shots at 500 meters. I shoot a 243 for everything just below red deer. And above red deer, I step up a little bit to like a 308 or a 0.6, something like that.
But Ryan, the 243, I mean, that's a child's gun.
I know.
Can't hunt
But
deer with that.
they shoot these short, handy rifles. Most of them all have suppressors on them. It's unusual to see a rifle over there without a can on
Right,
it. Well, in
because
some
you
countries.
can get it at the Wally World or whatever is
Yeah.
their equivalent.
And he kind of had a laugh at the fact that we have these giant guns.
We should do an overrated, underrated of cartridges.
Yeah. We should also do a head-to-head with Europeans somehow.
Battle.
Yes.
Battle across the pond.
We perhaps unknowing, we're not sure what it is going to be yet, but for the European listeners out there, we challenge you to a duel of some sort.
Whoa. That sounds a little aggressive.
They're gonna.
No, but they love that. It's a very, this is a very cordial duel.
Okay. Well, as long as it's like meant.
No, it's not like our whole Wisconsin-Texas thing we
Now, wait a minute. I'm the one who's going to get steamrolled here because I don't know anything about European cartridges.
Well, who says it has to be a battle of wits?
What kind of battle does it have to be?
I don't know. We'll
getting us
talk with the
into?
Europeans about it, all right? We'll talk with them. We'll try and come up with something that would be a interesting duel.
All right.
I mean, heck, we haven't had a good duel with the Europeans since, 17-something?
There he is, toeing the line again.
No, we crossed it.
We're all friends now. We can always edit this out. It's at the end.
We could because we care.
No, can't edit anything, Jim.
No, that's right.
Okay, well, thank you for the listener request on this one. And please, educate us further on the 764. That'd be a ton of fun in the comments. We'd love to hear from those who use it frequently. Otherwise, we'll catch everybody on the next one. And there's no problem between us and the Europeans. We just want to, why not? Little competition, little friendly game.
Maybe like, yeah.
That's all. All right.
All right. Bye.
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 You trying to start something?
Well, yeah. It'll be fun.
They're way smarter and they're way more handsome.
Very much so.
Yes, but I was trying to think of something that we got.
Hamburgers.
That and turkey. Very hard to find turkey sandwiches.
In Europe?
Mostly the UK. I actually don't know a whole lot about the rest of Europe. But I think the
Why
rest
are
of
you?
Europe might
Why
be
are
similar.
you in Europe going? Oh, if I could only have a turkey sandwich.
You don't think that sometimes?
No, that would be like. I'm not gonna say it'd be the furthest thing from my mind, but like doubtful it would.
Jim is very food motivated.
I know, but like I love a turkey sandwich, but it's not like I can't wait to go to.
Look at this. They have
Spain.
6.5 by 57 in the Hornady manual.
I've also heard ground beef is hard to come by in Europe.
You know what they call it
Is
in
that
Germany?
wrong or right?
You know what they call it in Germany?
What?
Hackfleisch.
Huh.
There.
Hackfleisch.
There's your 765 R, so rimmed.
Pretty.
Yep. There's your 764. Same case. Rim. No rim.
Rim, no rim.
So yeah, here we go. 150, 2800. 154, 150. Look at the old 7 Remington Magnum. 7 Rem Mag will be a little hotter, but not much. 2900. 3K on the top. Good cartridge. Neat round.
Just gets a shrug from Ryan.
1917. There it is. Wilhelm Brenneke. I was way off. I was 40 years off.